Given that you have said that you did ask the Business Secretary to apologise, the Cabinet Office Secretary has also apologised, would you express your own regret for not having said 3 weeks ago that Owen Paterson broke the rules, which would have provided clarity about the standards that you expect to be upheld?
Yeah, I began 2 weeks ago, I think it was, by saying that those who broke the rules should pay a price.
No, the issue is whether you should have said 3 weeks ago.
Yes, in retrospect.
Yes,
thank you. Yes, in retrospect, it might have helped a bit if I'd said that I believe that Owen had broken the rules as far as I could see.
You see, as far as I could see, you have an independent process that has looked into this. Every time you say, as far as I could see, well, it seems to me, and you try and qualify it, you are undermining an independent system that we need to work. All of us need this to work. We need you to have some integrity. We need you to be able to uphold the standards.
Yes, then let me repeat. It was clear to me that he'd broken the rules. He'd fallen foul of the rules that we have in Parliament. And I made clear at the outset of my statement, my first answer in PMQs, that for me that's something that deserves punishment. My question was, in all humility, given the particular circumstances of the case, whether there was any cross-party support for improvement to the system. That was what we were trying to achieve. I can now see that was a mistake. I also think it was a mistake not to go ahead with the 2018 report of the Independent Committee on Standards in Public Life, and I think the House should have implemented those conclusions as well.
And do you also accept that the problem is that with all the prevaricating, with all of the attempting to still be defensive about the things that actually everybody accepts that you got wrong, that whether it is
I'm not remotely prevaricating.
It sounds a lot like prevarication, whether it is, there's a whole series of things that creates an impression that is very unfortunate and is very damaging to public life, whether it is not wearing a mask in a Hexham Hospital, whether it is the initially defending colleagues who have broken the rules in a series of different cases. Do you accept that you have a responsibility to go above and beyond, to go further than everybody should expect,
I do.
and to actually establish much higher standards?
I do. And look, thank you, Ms. Cooper. And yes, I think it was a total mistake not to see that Owen's breach of the rules, Owen, the former member for North Shropshire's breach of the rules, made any discussion about anything else impossible. And I totally accept that. But as for not wearing a mask in Hexham Hospital, which you wrap up into my general litany of crime, can I just say that actually there was barely 30 seconds when I wasn't wearing a mask. I walked out of a room mistakenly not wearing it. I then put it on as soon as I realised I'd made that mistake. I apologise for it, but most pictures of my visit to the hospital will show that I was duly masked throughout the remainder of the visit, and I was masked on the way in to the visit. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to clear that up.
Let me briefly and ask you around the... I'm not actually, because it didn't start till 3:20. Let me ask you then briefly just around the violence against women and girls. Less than 1% of actual rapes are prosecuted, less than 2% of reported rapes. You've set a target to get prosecution rates back up to the 2016 levels by the end of the Parliament, but you've said that it's going to be really hard to meet that target, even though it's only 11%. So why is that? When it is such a shocking crime, why are we effectively letting 99% of rapists off and letting so many victims down? Yvette,
Mrs. Cooper, that's an incredibly important question, and it's something that I am campaigning on, working flat out now in government. I lead the Crime and Justice Task Force. This is our number one priority. You ask why it's so difficult. There are many reasons, but there are, as you will recall, there was a particular case in 2018 in which the evidence from a mobile phone was used by the defence to exonerate an alleged perpetrator of rape, and since then, I'm afraid that there has been a huge reliance on mobile phone data by Defence Counsel. And if I could, it's a very important point.
I understand, and let me do
so I just want to know what we're doing about it.
This is the top priority. You said that it's your top priority for police forces, but you have refused to put it in the strategic policing requirement.